Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stollings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderEX, and as always, I am your host for Operation Recap, where I take some of the stories that we showed off at Rainfall.com, and I throw them back at your face here on YouTube. You might have missed them, you might not have saw them, could have slipped through the cracks. It happens. We forgive you. We're on the same page. We're all good. Okay, anyway, this week's stories, just a couple of quick stories. Mostly because it's been a slow week, and there's been a lot of anime news, and I don't want to. I try not to stick with the. I try to stick with the gaming stuff here, but some of the gaming news. First off, Sonic CD is available on the Ouya. There's a joke in here somewhere. I'm sure of it. Okay, so I was reporting on the Ouya a lot. It was ramping up to be the little console that could. And like a bunch of other little consoles that could, it didn't. And it fell flat on its face. And there was a lot of problems with the Ouya, especially early on. Everyone's like, oh my god, emulation is a thing on it because they're showing Nintendo games. And Nintendo games aren't licensed for it. It's all just emulation. It's just a pirate machine. Etc. 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 And so, this is actually kind of a big deal. Sega announced a while back that they're doing several games. This is one of them, Sonic CD. This game was released on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network not too long ago to a vivacious fanfare. I did not realize how many people actually liked this game. I, for a long time, considered it the black sheep of the Sonic games until, you know, until more recently. And then I'm like, oh, this is a great game. Okay, but it is available on the Ouya now. It is $2.99. I believe there's a demo available where you can play the first level for free. So that's actually kind of a big deal that there's getting some big name support. The Sonic CD did very well on 360 and PS3 recently with its download. So maybe it was the little console that could. Got overhyped and got off to a bad start, but maybe it could pick up. But you never know. It's hard to say in these situations. I am kind of hoping for it because I would like to see new, something slightly different. I ranted about it with the Xbox changes. It's like they were going to do something new. I didn't agree with it personally, but it was something new, and I want to see a shake-up in the gaming industry like that. I want to see that. And I was hoping the Ouya could do it, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore. But if you do have, if you're one of the few that have an Ouya, go pick up Sonic CD if you don't already have it. It is a great game. I truly regret treating it as the black sheep for as long as I did. Next up, Nintendo is releasing a black 3DS XL because Nintendo can't just leave well enough alone. Okay, so they have so many different variants. As a kind of an amateur game collector, I've never got into collecting specific console. Like I will collect a console, but N64 with all of its variations and colors. Nintendo's huge on this, and a lot of collectors that I speak to love and hate Nintendo for this because they have so many different variants. If they want to, if they are the hardcore obsessive type collector, which I know a few, they'll want one of each. They'll want everything because it's collecting. You can't have one and say that you can't be missing one and say you have a full set because it's not true. And so Nintendo is going to be releasing a 3DS XL in black. That probably won't be the last color that they release. They do this, and I don't know how to feel about it. But if you haven't picked up a 3DS XL, now you can if you didn't like the color option. And that's a big thing. If you don't like the color options, that is kind of an incentive to not buy the console. So the fact that they didn't just start off with a black one because, you know, black's kind of a standard console color these days boggles my mind. But if you didn't pick one up because of the color or just because, now you have another option, which is, I guess, what Nintendo's going for. If you're a collector, you have one more thing to add to your list of obsessive-compulsive disorders like I do. So, I'm not going to be picking up an XL. I do like the XLs. I do think the screen size is really big. It's so much nicer, and just the feel of the console is better. but it's also almost defeats the purpose of a portable system because it's just so freaking big. It's that kind of trade-off in technology lately. For a while, everything was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and why do we do this? I don't understand. But hey, that's out. Go check it out if you are interested in the 3DS or the XL models. That's the thing. And last up is probably the kind of biggest and most interesting news, and I don't even know where to go with this. One of the campaign hubs that we've shared here on Rainfall for a while is Breath of Fire. And I loved the original Breath of Fire games. I stopped playing after 2, really. I have the others, and I want to play them. But I just never got into it. But there's an announcement that Breath of Fire 6 has been announced for PC, tablets, and smartphones. And I don't know how to feel about it. I sit here and I read over the article, and they're talking about Breath of Fire. And the screenshots and everything don't look like a Breath of Fire game to me. It looks like a smartphone game, just with the name Breath of Fire attached to it. And I kind of want feedback of the people who work on the campaign hub on Rainfall. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to them about this. But how do you guys feel about it? And this is going to be my question of the video. How do you guys feel about this? Is it good to hear that the series is still going? It hasn't been, confirmed anywhere else other than, hey, we're doing Breath of Fire 6. But the fact that the series is obviously still alive in the minds of Capcom, is that good? Or is it bad that they're like, hey, we're going to turn it into a smartphone game? Are you scared that it's going to become the next Mega Man franchise? I mean, look at the Mega Man games released on iOS. The one I saw was terrible, the one with only 2 buttons where you jump and shoot, and it's just, you constantly scroll. That's not what I want the franchise to be like, but I mean, limited resources available as to what's going on with it. But that's my question to you guys for this video. If it's not on an actual console or on an actual development system, like if it were on Steam for PC, it might be a little different. But if it's just a PC, Android, iOS type deal, does that seem like it's a cheaper experience? And would you prefer the console, or would you prefer the series to have just kind of faded away? Or is these last minute type cash grab deals, do you think it's a good thing to keep the series alive and draw attention to it so that more solid titles in the franchise have a chance to thrive? That's a lot of questions, really, but it's such a big deal that Breath of Fire 6, I don't know. But I'm gonna go. I want you guys to discuss and ponder and comment and all that sort of stuff on the video, because I want to know your thoughts on this, because I don't know how to feel about this. I saw the news and I was giddy with excitement, and then I saw everything else, and it's almost like a piece of my soul died. So, discuss that down below in the comment section, and as always, stay tuned to Operation Rainfall for all of your news, reviews, previews, and gaming miscellanea. I will catch you guys later, so till then, take care.